What's good in the hood YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing us another video. Today I'm bringing us a video on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So the Power Rangers Lightning Collection was something announced back during Power Morphicon in August. And initially we only had the images and information based on the Mighty Morphin White Ranger, which was good and important and gave us a lot of really important details that now make us really excited because it actually sounds like a really cool line where they're going to have like the helmetless Rangers and they'll probably have accessories and all sorts of other stuff that's really awesome. So a lot of stuff to look forward to, which makes me very happy. But we finally got a confirmation on some of the other members from the Lightning Collection. And this is really important because the Lightning Collection is something that people have been wondering what's going to be in the first wave. And what I'm glad is that the first wave is not made up of entirely Mighty Morphin or entirely one season. In fact, really, Mighty Morphin has 2 Rangers, but so does Beast Morphers in the first wave. And let me get into that, because really they kind of spread out really well. They announced this fairly recently, so I wanted to discuss it. And also, they're not just doing Rangers, which makes me excited. So let me get started. So the first one, and I'm going to go in order of seasons. So first, we know that they're going to have the Mighty Morphin White Ranger, which is good. I'm glad, Mighty Morphin White Ranger, having your Tommy representation early, fine. White Ranger, that's good. And then we also have representation from the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger, which makes a lot of sense because you have to have that OG pink or you have to have something original. So having pink makes a lot of sense, and also because that's a female ranger. So that's good. Then the next ranger, if you go in order, is actually not Ranger. Next character is Lord Zedd. Lord Zedd is very cool as a Lightning Collection figure because he's probably one of the most popular villains from the series, aside from like Rita Repulsa, Strahma, and Rancic, and maybe a few others depending on what you personally like. Lord Zedd is up there as being one of the greatest villains ever. So Lord Zedd is very fitting, and he'll probably sell super well. So that's really exciting, and that will be great. Next we have Magnum Defender. Yeah, we're gonna get the Magnum Defender, which is amazing. So Lost Galaxy is gonna get represented by the Magnum Defender. I'm curious though if it will be Mike or if it will just be the standard Magnum Defender. If they have it with its Mike, that would be really interesting. If they just have it where it's Magnum Defender, that still could be really awesome. Personally, I'm kind of hoping for standard Magnum Defender, but if they want to do Mike and incorporate him in there, that's cool too, but that would mean is having the face sculpt. We never actually get to see him helmetless, so that is something to note as well. So if they ever did that, that would be something brand new. Then, if you go in order, we go to Spd Shadow Ranger. Yeah, Spd Shadow Ranger. So Doggy Kruger is next from Spd. So that's very cool. Super popular character, a character people always want. That is awesome. I love Doggy, so that's gonna be great. And then if we go in order, we have Dino Charge Red Ranger. Very popular character, very popular Ranger, and also Neo Saban era, which works. And then we have Go Busters, Beast Morphers Red and Gold. I don't know why I was saying Go Busters. I was saying the Japanese. So Beast Morphers Red and Gold as well. So as far as things go with this wave, what do I think? I like it a lot. I think it's really good because it's not just focusing on one era. Think about it. Mighty Morphin, Season 1, which is the Zordon era. White Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Zordon era. So you're getting that Mighty Morphin fix, which people will buy into. Then you're getting Lord Zedd, which means you're getting a villain in there, which is good in general because that shows that villains can happen. Then you have Magnum Defender, which means you're getting into the Saban era. Then you got Doggy Kruger, which means you're getting into the Disney era. Then you're getting Dino Charge Red Ranger, which is the Neo Saban era. And then you have the Beast Morphers Red and Gold Ranger, which is the Hasbro era. So basically you're covering all the eras. You're going to have one female. You're going to have one villain. So you're covering all your bases. one female is good also because females don't sell as well, so that actually is useful because that means that you're not having too many females out there where you're gonna have a problem. You only have one that you're gonna have to worry about having to sell. So that's better because you're limiting how many females can go into stores in case they don't sell it well. So that's really important. As far as other things go, just the possibilities with accessories, with weapons, with all sorts of stuff is just immense. Think about it. Mighty Morphin, we already know about Tommy, but Pink Ranger, you can have the bow, you can have her helmetless look, so you can see Kimberly. I'm curious if they'll have Kimberly and Kat. That'd be cool. I'd hope that they would do something like that, where they could have maybe swappable heads, where you could swap between Kimberly and Kat, and you'd have one or the other, and you could choose whether it's a Kimberly figure or a Kat figure. Even though Kimberly is more iconic, Kat totally was the Pink Ranger during the 3rd season, so you could totally include that. I mean, second half of the 3rd season, but you know what I mean. So that's really cool. Lord Zedd could easily have his Z staff, and he could, hopefully he has like the bomb that allows him to make the monsters grow. Maybe have his staff have a snake form. That'd be very cool, so you can maybe create the effect of him transforming it from a snake into his regular staff. That would be neat. Just a lot of different opportunities. Maybe have something with his visor where you can have it where he just has like the standard eyes, or he has like the red and like angry eyes that he has sometimes early on in the season. That would be really, really cool to see some of those things happen, where you can maybe adjust the eyes, and just different things like that would be very cool. I don't know how many of those things will actually happen, but there's a lot of different possibilities that I could see occurring here. And just in general, it's really exciting. Now, as far as Magnum Defender, having his son would be cool as an accessory, something that doesn't necessarily have to move, but just something that's featured to represent Magnum Defender. Obviously having his sword and also having the gun mode with it. Even if they're two different things, that would still be good. And then just either having a face sculpt or not, depending on what version they're trying to do, or if they're trying to make it so you can choose, that's fine too. There's a number of different possibilities that they could do with him. So that is very exciting. As far as Spd, they could have a Doggy Kruger face. That would be neat. They could also, obviously have his saber, and they could use his different weapons. Hopefully he has the Spd license as well. Whether or not it's something he can hold or not, I mean, that would be great, but I don't know what they're doing. But that could be really exciting. Then as far as what else is there? Dino Charge. Having a face sculpt of Tyler, having him have the T-Rex weapon that he has, also having his standard gun weapon that he uses, that would be good. Maybe having his the sword mode and the combination weapon, and maybe the supercharge mode. I don't know if they'll have the super modes featured in any way, but that could be very cool. I know it's a little loud. What else is there? Beast Morphers. They could do, well, they could use the standard weapons. They could have the helmetless look for both of them. There's just a lot of possibilities there. But just some of the older ones especially will be very exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this will work. Again, they're expecting to release these late into spring, I believe, if not early into summer. So that could be very cool. I'm curious as to whether or not they'll release them in 2 assortments, or if they'll release them all at once. Also, will the quantities of the packs be large or small? Again, I don't really know yet, but I'd be very curious to find out what they're going to do, because if they make them big, that's cool. If they do it all at once, it'd be interesting. I'm guessing we'll probably see most of those figures by Toy Fair, which is in February, so we'll probably have a pretty good idea as to what they're going to look like in the show, and also we'll probably get a good look at what the Beast Morphers figures will look like as well, which I am going to do a video on the new merchandise that was just announced for those, because they just recently announced those as well, but they haven't shown any actual images yet, and we still don't really know when actual merchandise is going to be releasing in stores. Typically in past years it's been around December, but no information has been sent out yet regarding anything coming out, so it might take till a little bit longer for them to actually release anything, which is really amazing knowing how they move, because they typically release things like as soon as the season ends. Once December hits, you see it all in stores. It always happens. So the fact that we haven't heard anything, or even by November sometimes you even can see it, so the fact that we haven't heard anything at all is pretty big deal, because that shows that they're really trying to hold back on putting anything major out yet, and it could be really cool. So that's about it for me. I'm really looking forward to seeing these figures in person. I think I'm gonna buy them all, just because it sounds like a really good wave. You know, it's not like, oh, here's a team. It's like, here's a whole mixed assortment, and then like the next wave may cover other Rangers from the seasons that are the same seasons, or maybe some different ones, and maybe fill in more seasons so that eventually you can have complete teams. But I like the fact that they're spreading it out rather than doing it all as like one season after another, because that way you can cover multiple seasons each go, rather than having to do it where it's one at a time. Also, the villains makes me excited, because I really want to see some really cool villains. I would love to see Astronema. I would love to see Rancic. I would love to see so many different villains. Oh my god, I'd be very excited. I'm very curious to see how the packaging will look. I'm very curious to see how everything will really work out. The accessories, the sound effects, the lights, the everything. Oh, it's gonna be really cool. So that's about it for me, guys. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know your guys' opinions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until next time, guys, I'm Crazy Star 1, and goodbye, guys.